XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
And then he couldn't fire his glutes later.
Matt Hayes.
His balls are different in person.
And Leon Searcy.
So they were smelling themselves.
Oh, my gosh.
With no deal.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Welcome in the 2 o'clock hour on what looks like kind of an Indiana type of day. It's a Monday, overcast, just a little chill, kind of hitting your bones, but it's winter. And we weren't used to the idea of winter hanging around this long, but it has. Welcome in, though. We're going to just hang out with you. I call it barstool weather on a day like today, and you can definitely enjoy it. If you are out and about, we appreciate you guys keeping 1010 XL and 92.5 locked in all day long. We are ready to talk some ball, Jaguar head coaching search, and all the playoff ball that we saw. I didn't realize that the college football playoff continued for another week because there were blowouts left and right. We were always complaining in the first round, Leon, about the way the college football playoff, actually it went past the first round, but anyway, there were not exciting finishes that we were hoping for, more blowouts than anything else, and lo and behold, that's what we got in the first round of the NFL.
It wasn't there was no stimulation in any of these games. There was a lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes, bad ball on both ends, offensively, defensively, interceptions, turnovers, grabs, PIs, legal procedure. I mean, it was a lot of flags in a lot of these games. I mean, it messed up the whole but they were flags that were caused. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you have to question the preparedness in a lot of these teams with all those penalties.
Yeah. I think everything gets ratcheted up, Matty. So the intensity of it, the moment, everyone's trying to make that play or that hit or that catch or whatever. And, yeah, every time you turned around, you were like offsides, holding, pass interference, whatever it might have been. But anyway, there's some ugly, ugly storylines coming out of the first week of Wild Card Weekend. No doubt about it. We're going to hit as many of them as we can.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, we heard the same thing with college football, and he was complaining about that. There's too many teams. Mm-hmm. You're not going to hear anybody say there's too many teams in the NFL.
No.
It's just.
And we even laid out last year's average margin of victory Wild Card Weekend was sizable. More than a couple scores.
Right, yeah. Right. Larger
it was
than
worse than this.
Larger than the college football.
Yeah, it was like 17. What was it? 17 points per game.
Yeah, and that's crazy. That's crazy talk is what that is. So, I mean, but again, it's just these stuffs, they're cyclical, very cyclical, and you're dealing with guys, you're dealing with teams that when during the season, you don't really get to like see the difference, the talent discrepancy, but then once you get to the playoff, you can clearly see, okay, now, like Leon was saying last week, that's when it gets ratcheted up.
Yeah.
And you can see the talent discrepancy at that point. You can see a DB who's typically like on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 6.5 or 7 in the regular season, he can become a 5 quickly, and then that's where you start getting those big runs.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see the contenders and the pretenders.
Oh yeah,
throughout the week, and there was a lot of pretenders over the weekend.
Well, just as an example, Mike Evans v. Marshawn Lattimore. It lived up as advertised for many years. Mm-hmm. Well, Marshawn Lattimore was dealt to the Commanders, and he was coming down there and thinking that he was going to be same old him and it was going to be same old Mike, and they would go back and forth. Well, Mike been playing, okay, and Marshawn Hatton and Evans just worked him silly in the first half of that game. Didn't quite get as much in the second half as I would have liked, and many other bettors would have liked. But bottom line is Marshawn Lattimore ain't the same cat, and especially like you're talking about from pretender to contender or vice versa, you figure out who's who. I tell you what. You guys let us know on the text line, 641-1010. You can text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can jump in the YouTube chat. You can find us real easy on YouTube. Just search 1010XL or XL Primetime.
Some dudes shrink, right, Leon? Like in that moment, like some dudes shrink.
Yeah.
You like as a former player, when you're watching that game, could you tell?
Yes, absolutely. Especially at the quarterback position. Justin Herbert.
Well, he was going through a lot. I kind of give him a pass.
I don't give him nothing.
Oh, no.
No way.
No.
Are you guys serious?
Yes.
You know what's going on where he lives?
Well, yeah. But Derwin James is going through the same
Everybody's
thing.
going through it.
I know that, but it affects some people differently.
Let's just not separate the quarterback and say he's the only one affected by the fire.
The Rams are going to struggle too.
Yeah.
Wait and see.
We'll find out.
They won't struggle.
Yeah.
I hope they don't struggle. Just to kill
I
that
agree.
argument.
Emotionally, look.
That's difficult, man. Very, very difficult.
Look,
Joe, what do you mean? Come on, like entire neighborhoods are gone.
I totally get it.
It looks like a bomb has been dropped.
We have seen guys that have lost family members go out and play. I'm not trivializing that at all, but they will use something as inspiration as opposed to
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is who I was thinking of, and they will compartmentalize that moment.
You some cold dudes. That's all I got to say.
No, I'm just
all three of you.
Cold.
Hey,
no.
Okay, here were there fires going on when Justin Herbert did not score a single point in the second half of the game against the Jags? Okay, this guy has been torched to use a
No, but there was a fire going on in Trevor Lawrence
Don't
the
use
first
the
half of
word
that
torch.
game.
I know. I was going to say
Come
a figurative phrase is what I was trying to say. But 30 minutes of ball against this team, AFC South, 2 years ago, could not find a point, could not find any success, and then goes into that game and could not find any success hardly at all. He hooked up with Ladd McConkey in the second half of the game. He was about to go 90 minutes of playoff football without throwing a touchdown. He finally did. And then they ended up Jim Harbaugh, shell-shocked by D'Amico Ryans and what they had game plan-wise. I almost thought that D'Amico stole Jimmy's video camera and made sure that he got in with a little walkthrough because they were ready for everything. Their pass rush came back.
Way too much on him, man.
Yeah.
Way too much. If you're asking me right now who I take, Trevor Lawrence or Justin Herbert, I take Justin Herbert.
Well, Justin Herbert had a better year, so that's
I'm not talking about the better years. I'm talking about better player. He's a better player.
Well,
period.
I won't debate you. I'm just saying he had a lousy game.
Terrible.
Yeah, he did. He did have a lousy game. I'm not debating you. He had a lousy game. He had a terrible game. He shrunk. All I'm saying is there's a lot more to it than what's going on the field with him.
Right.
That's all. That's the only point I'm making.
Right, but
You got to cut him a little slack, man. Not to cut that entire team a little slack.
Well, I might cut all of them a little slack because of what they are going through or have been through. I don't know. I just know that they had to play the game, and like you said, Leon, we'll find out what the Rams look like tonight. But it's tough. There's all these outside influences that happen with all these guys all the time. And they somehow or another figure out a way to deal with it.
Yeah, but on the flip side, if they had a won, then they would have said, well, we were inspired by everything.
Very, very possible. Yeah, very possible. And they
New
were
Orleans Saints, yes.
Yeah.
Remember that?
exactly. Hurricane Katrina, and so it happens. They use those
people,
things.
man. I'll tell you what.
Well, they just use it as fuel, and
it just depends on which way the coin flips. I mean, they lose, they built an excuse, and if they win, they were inspired.
Right. Just take a look at Buffalo having to play after Damar Hamlin collapsed. There's just so many things we can point to, and even the
Probably a little bit different. Damar Hamlin collapsing, and like portions of a city.
well, but that's their teammate. That's probably closer to them than portions of a city. Actually, that's just what
Come
I
on,
think.
man.
Anyway, we can debate it all day long, but I'm sure that they were affected by it. But Justin Herbert has played that type of game before. And he went through a year where he had cleaned a lot of things up. 23 touches, 3 interceptions, I believe is what it was.
Plus, I don't think the Saints played 3 days after Katrina. Did they, JJ? I don't think that's true. I think they waited a week.
I'm
Right.
just saying that there has been plenty of instances where teams have,
These dudes are literally coming off like 2 or 3 days from what's going on.
Take 9/11.
Again, didn't play right after it.
Right, but they took a week off and they came back and anyway, I don't want to debate it. I'm just simply saying that
That's the NFL for you right there.
Yeah.
They're not taking anything off, man.
well,
Unless
Matt-
it's something like 9/11, they are not taking
Matt's
it off.
putting all of us in a no-win situation.
I am. I'm making you all look like I'm making you all look like just terrible people.
and I'm the only one in this room that had a fire up against my house within a block. Okay, so I know exactly what that feels like. That's pretty damn scary.
I had it back in the remember in the early 90s, the fires in Jacksonville?
Yes,
I had
yeah.
it right then, yeah.
That's it was a block
Mine was
away
right about 2 blocks
from
away.
our house, and
Yeah.
I've
Water in
never
the roof,
and that was the first house that I built with my own hands, and I can easily say that. And there were fires that jumped I-95 coming at St. Augustine, and obviously there were others that lost.
Was that 98?
Yeah, 98.
That was like all over the state, man.
Oh,
That was
my gosh.
wild.
When you have a fire that can jump an interstate, you know just the breadth and how huge it is. And I'll never forget, we're doing a show, and I'm pretty sure it was me and Terry Norvell, I'm pretty sure, and get a phone call, and this is obviously where I'm remote at a dealership, and they go, your wife needs you to come home. The fires are raging and heading right for your house. And we had built that house in 1995.
Right.
Working on it every single night after work. And so just to imagine you have the possibility of losing that. And we had family members one block behind us. And they set up sprinklers on their house.
Water on my roof. Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff.
Luckily, the water was working.
Yeah.
Luckily, there was water in the hydrants.
But the greatest thing
in the
was,
reservoirs.
Yeah.
the greatest thing was the, what are they called? Division of Forestry.
Mm-hmm.
They came in with those big rigs and just started cutting lines.
Right.
Yeah.
And how in the world a fire could jump 95, but they could cut lines to stop it, and they did. And then I remember you could drive, at least for a week or so, drive in the wooded areas behind, take your four-wheel drive and drive back there. And
in the
you
area
just
they cut, yeah.
And you still just see just burning embers and ash and smoke. And,
Yeah, I remember as a kid having to walk outside with a mask.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't breathe.
Yeah,
Like the forest got it pretty
Yeah, it was like
bad.
it was snowing outside.
Yeah, it was scary. So believe me, I do understand it. I just know that.
Now you guys have a little better
Oh, stop, man.
understanding.
Listen, you're right. If you're going to give Justin Herbert, I'm going to give Alt and Slater a pass too,
because Slater did get
the
worse.
pressures they were giving up, man, it had to be in minds or something else.
It had to be the fact that
man.
Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson all of a sudden just got well. Heck, I felt better about the Jags offensive line after watching the LA Chargers.
Goodness.
They were unable to contain the Houston Texas pass rush. So the worst thing happened in the AFC South. Houston is alive again.
Look good.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, the first half of that game, they got after C.J. Stroud. They were affecting him. And then right there, not right before the half, but remember when he was backed up against his goal line, bad snap, fumbled the snap, rally, throw to the middle of the field, complete, and then everything changed on a dime. And he started running. And let's make this point coming up. C.J. Stroud discovered his legs. He was like Eddie Murphy in Trading Places. I have legs. And all of a sudden, he just started running. And Trevor Lawrence needs to do the exact same thing. Look at the running quarterbacks and what they did this first week. Look at what Jalen Hurts, we know he does it. Jaden Daniels has proven he can do it all day. And then C.J. Stroud did it. And you can go down the line. Jordan Love maybe should have done a little bit more of it. Anyway, let's get into all that coming up. And then the latest on the Jags coaching search. Where are you at with the Jags coaching search? What has you fired up? What makes you think it's possible? And what makes you think it's impossible? Let's go through the news as far as the head coach is concerned. On a Mocama Beer Company Monday, we say thanks to them. Every single day you can enjoy great coffee in their tap room. Their Wildlight location is also up in Nassau County, and find them right there on South 8th in Fernandina Beach. Tuesday through Sunday, delicious craft, and you can pick it up anytime on the shelves at Total or ABC. Check out Mocama.com. NFL playoffs, Jaguars coaching search. That's what we got on XL Primetime.
Catch Gators basketball on 1010XL.
Fifth-ranked Florida is back in the swamp as their super season continues against Missouri. Gators Tigers, Tuesday at 9 on 1010 AM.
Hey guys, it's your boy E.T. And you need a little extra boost in the bedroom? Blue Chew is what you need. By now you probably know that Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and Staxin in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. So what you waiting for? Blue Chew is all online. No doctor's visits, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Plus, it ships right to your front door in a discreet package. Their licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredients and strengths for your prescription. Guys, if you don't like swallowing pills, no problem. Blue Chew is chewable. And ready for a great offer? How about free? Go to BlueChew.com, consult with a licensed medical provider, and get your first month free. Turn that oh no into a oh yeah. Just chew it and do it. Visit BlueChew.com.
Epic offers. Factory direct pricing on AC equipment from Epic Cool Heating and Air. Call 904-859-EPIC. Epic discounts for military, police, first responders, and 1010 listeners like you. Epic Cool Heating and Air.
Mia here for MyBookie. It's win or go home. The NFL playoffs are the ticket to the biggest game of the year, and all roads lead to New Orleans. The NCAA playoffs will set the stage, but this is your chance to get in on every high-stakes moment along the way. Your road to New Orleans starts now with MyBookie. MyBookie is the ultimate destination for bettors who want more, whether you're betting the underdogs or riding with the favorites. Every drive, every touchdown, every moment is an opportunity to win big. Kick off your 2025 right with risk-free Thursdays. Place a bet, and if it doesn't hit, MyBookie has your back. Dive into the Bet Boost tab to supercharge your picks and build that bankroll before the big game. And when the games are over, the action does not stop, folks. MyBookie's online casino keeps the excitement going 24/7. Blackjack, roulette, slots, it's all there. Whether you're celebrating a big win or gearing up for the next round. Haven't joined yet? Now's the time. Use promo code 1010XL on your first deposit, and MyBookie will hook you up with an instant bonus because you deserve to start the year off right.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
This is Dr. George Bari inviting you to look online at BariOrthopedics.com for the latest in medical advancements when it comes to getting you back to full joint health. After studying under Dr. James Andrews, I know proper diagnosis is the first key to treatment, and educating the patient is the fastest path to recovery. Whether it's chronic back pain, nagging arthritis, or necessary joint replacement, we're here to serve you in the best possible way. We are Bari Orthopedics and online at BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410. Spend lunchtime with the ladies.
A meal and sparkling conversation.
Helmets and heels.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
Just behave, okay?
Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans on 1010XL.
Coke, Florida congratulates the Jacksonville Jaguars on a great 2024 season. As the local Coca-Cola bottler celebrating 10 years of business, Coke, Florida is proud to be the Jags' official beverage partner. From the season kickoff to the final touchdown, Coke, Florida's 5,000 associates and passionate fans have cheered on the Jags all season long. Coke, Florida and the Jags tackle game day with great taste.
Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Did you have people over for the holidays? Kids everywhere, dirt everywhere, all over the carpets, the rugs, the sofas, and chairs? Did the kitchen tile take a beating? Sounds like it's time to call my guys over at Zero Res. The Zero Res techs will get the house looking great again. Folks, if you need help cleaning up after the holiday, give Zero Res a call. Right now, 25% off carpet cleaning, 25% off upholstery cleaning. Zero Res. Spell it forwards. Zero Res. Spell it backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
What is the busiest airport in the world?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport is the busiest airport in the world, serving over 100 million passengers.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room at Fernandina Beach.
Mokama, beer company. We say thanks to them. And they're great people up there, but you can also find them in the shelves of Total Wine and ABC. We always like telling you that as well. we have got, honestly, a lot to look back on, a lot to look ahead to, where the Jaguars coaching search is. We're going to kind of zero in on that right now, but I couldn't help read the stat line for Justin Herbert. 43.8 completion percentage, 242 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 picks. And then I just looked at his passer rating. Justin Herbert going into the game on Saturday, the last 3 passer ratings, 110, 116, 125. It went to 40.9. Whew. Oh, that is just awful. And Jim Harbaugh, I thought, would have gone into that game, I don't know, just a little bit more with a game plan to combat what that front can do with Houston defensively. Got to give Derek Stingley and some of those other guys a lot of credit on the back end. What were the numbers for Lab McConkey, though?
9 for 197.
Oh, my God.
Every other receiver had under 20 yards receiving.
Yeah, that's all.
He did miss throws. He missed a deep ball. Who was it? It was Johnson. I think got behind Stingley.
Yeah.
It was a touchdown. He makes the throw. I'm not saying he didn't. He played poorly.
Oh, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. All right, so let's just go back to the theory, and then we'll get into the head coaching search about using your legs. Okay? Let's get into that. Let's get into that real quick, but then just that part of it, that element that maybe we hope Trevor can bring back.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So it did just happen, but it's perfectly segueing into the coaching that we're getting ready to talk to. Mike McCarthy out as Cowboys coach, which is a big deal because there will be people coming after him. Maybe even this franchise.
Mike McCarthy has done decent things in Dallas, but has been there for 5 years with 1 playoff win. He's another former Super Bowl winning coach that walked in with credentials and then ultimately does not get the job done. And he had pretty good quarterback play over the course of his full 5 years there. I know Dak was hurt down the stretch this year and had been hurt once before, but still the body of work that Dak has put out there is pretty good.
The playoff games have been the problem.
Yeah,
not
one
wins, because
playoff win.
I think he's averaged like 11 wins a season, right?
He had 3 straight 12-5 records.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they were pulled down this year because of how long Dak was out. But yeah.
I mean, you had an issue with Doug because, I mean, as far as offense goes, it was pedestrian. You said 2010 offense. I mean, you're bringing another 2010 offense.
I had an issue with 5 and 17 as well.
Well, yeah, but you said offensively.
Yes,
it was
that's why they were 5 and 17. That's kind of my point.
But they're like mirror images of it.
Yeah, they are. Same kind of offense.
How about that?
And by the way, they're both West Coast disciples. There's no doubt about that. And the thing is that they couldn't run the ball. So let's get to this part of it real quick, and then because this is what I want from the head coach. Let's just make this the 10-10 take, JJ, because this has to happen in Duval.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since '68.
We can use versatility as a good word when it comes to a quarterback skill set. Got to be versatile. Sonny's extremely versatile. You come in with a certain food mood, they can fill it for you, okay? You want that salad bar? Attack it. No problem at all. You want some good wings? Got them. You want to get those redneck rolls? Remember how good those were? Oh, yeah. You can get them all. Of course, all the other signature ribs, chicken, pork, turkey, you name it, they got it. So the versatility that we have seen with these quarterbacks in the playoffs certainly has been showcased with what Jaden Daniels did last night, what Baker Mayfield really did throughout the course of the year, what we saw from C.J. Stroud when he decided to take off and run. And basically, you guys know what we're talking about here. Trevor Lawrence needs to rediscover his legs and create that extra layer of fear in a defense when you have to deal with him. Josh Allen, a lot of design runs. I think the over-under yesterday was 7.5 because he flat out was going to take off and run when he needs to. Lamar, we know that El Boogie ran the most in the first playoff game that he has since day one against Kansas City. So you better have a guy come in here and say, Trevor, let's use everything you've got. That's the 10-10 take. They have got to get that back out of him and not necessarily want him to live in the pocket. I saw this stat, and this is not a saucy. This is a suck stat. Okay? The lowest quarterback rating outside of the pocket belongs to who?
The lowest?
Lowest quarterback rating outside of the
Trevor
pocket this year belongs to who?
Trevor Lawrence.
Belongs to Trevor Lawrence. Okay. Now, let me give you the other guys that are.
Not for Lawrence.
So let me give you the guys that are at the bottom of the heap when it comes to total QBR outside the pocket this season. Jalen Hurts tied with Gardner Minshew. QBR of 20. I'll use that line. Is that bad? Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. 20 is their QBR. Daniel Jones had a QBR of 11.
Yet you want this guy outside the pocket running.
Trevor had a QBR of 2.
Right, so you want him outside the pocket running?
Yeah, I want to improve that.
How about if we this is a novel idea. I understand this. How about if we start first with protection?
That's fine, but
let
I'm just
him
saying,
throw the ball. That's what a quarterback does. A quarterback throws the ball.
I get it. My whole point is he needs to throw it on.
Throw the ball. You catch the ball.
He needs to throw it when he's out of the pocket. He needs to throw it on the move. I'm not telling him to get out of the pocket just to run. Do you understand Do you understand what that is? That is a quarterback rating.
I understand that.
It's not a running rating. It's a quarterback rating.
I understand that. My point is your quarterback is much more dangerous when you can protect and he can throw the ball.
Right.
His main thing is his ability to throw the ball.
I'm not sure I trust Trevor running the ball outside the pocket, honestly, because he's
a little reckless with the ball.
He either fumble it.
All this stuff needs to be cleaned up.
And then he tried to slide, and so you saw.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Just start with protection.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a couple guards.
Well, I mean,
start with protection, then throw the ball.
I totally agree with that. But at certain points in the game, as a quarterback, you look at fronts, 4-man protection, 2 high safeties, and they got a 4-man rush, and you got linebackers back. That's a novel time to run the football.
Take a look at what Pat Mahomes does. Hey, Pat Mahomes,
and then if they can get you at 4, and then he's throwing against 7, that's what they dealt with most of the year.
I know they did. And they did.
Actually, you probably could say most of his career.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 100%. Yes.
Yeah. So by no means am I saying don't start there, because you have to have an improved line for Trevor Lawrence and for this team to succeed. This is the whole package I'm talking about. Figure out how to run the ball. Figure out how to run off of play action with your quarterback in the pocket and complete passes, and then figure out how to get him on the move and scare the hell out of some defenses. They showed this classic RPO that Lamar and Derrick Henry have, and Lamar just makes you think for one split second that he's taken off. You freak out as a defense.
Well, Lamar's a unicorn, man. He's different.
I know that, but is Josh Allen a unicorn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Okay. Can Trevor Lawrence not be that same type of guy? In other words, this is a rock that needs to be chiseled down to something good that might look like a diamond.
I think you have something good in the way he throws the ball. If they could just flip and protect for him.
Right. Justin Herbert takes off and runs, gets on the move.
Yeah.
Even Baker takes off, gets on the move. We just mentioned what C.J. Stroud was doing. These things need to happen in today's offense.
All those guys you just mentioned all have significantly better offensive lines in this team.
I wouldn't say that Houston does. I wouldn't say that.
I definitely would.
Well, we can use a few other ones. I know that we're talking about decent offensive lines right now.
I don't think you realize how bad this O-line is, man.
I am not arguing with you. You keep trying to tell me what I'm thinking, and that ain't what I'm thinking, okay? This offensive line, believe it or not, performed better in a pass pro mode than you realize.
Why would you say we all watched it? Why would you say that?
I'm just saying.
We all watched every game, Joe.
I'm just saying better than you realize, okay? Because you may not be willing to give them credit for that.
Okay, so I guess if the bottom baseline is suck.
Yeah.
They're at what? Stink?
Yeah, they're somewhere around there. Or stank.
They're a little below recyclables.
Yeah. And so I'm not arguing with you.
All of us out there, you guys driving around, you all watched this. Do you think they had a good offensive line?
No.
Or better than what we thought? No way, man. They were terrible.
No, I'm saying pass pro better than what you're giving them credit for. That doesn't mean they're good at all. Okay? Everything, if you want to talk about the construction of this football team, they need to get tougher. They need to get tougher, and they need to be able to knock people off the ball.
Well, isn't that what Trent said? You got to get tougher, so it didn't work then.
Well, here's the reason
he
why.
He was full of it. Still is full of it.
The reason why they were so good at pass protection is because that's how they ran block.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they ran block.
Yeah.
But they weren't good at pass protection.
I know they weren't.
That's how their starting quarterback got hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, I have to pull up some numbers, some metrics, some next-gen stats, I guess, coming up here in just a second. But anyway, we'll get it back into it. There are a number of guys that have completed interviews with the Jags. Robert Salah is another guy that's going to interview for the head coaching job on Tuesday here. He is the guy who's been in Jacksonville before, and he may not be being looked at as it's fair. It may be a little unfair to say this. He's still being viewed as a head coaching candidate, but he may land in a coordinator's role. That may be the higher percentage hire for Robert Salah now based on what happened up in New York. So he comes here to interview for this head coaching job. Whoever gets it might look at him and say, hey, you're a damn good defensive coordinator. Let's bring you in here and let's pair this thing up together. That's a possibility.
We got a DC job open too, you know.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Let's get into the head coaching position. Let's get into some of the other storylines that you can work into the conversation on what you need for this football team to be better.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
New year, new beginnings, and a new roof. Start 2025 with peace of mind and take advantage of Universal Roof and Contracting's limited time offer. 15% off all roof repairs and replacements. From leaks to full replacements, call 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection today. This special New Year deal ends January 31st. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home and building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins. 354-5645.
Don't go through another year with all that high-interest debt. Let Loan Pronto wipe it all out now. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan makes it easy to pay off all your credit cards or tackle that 2025 home improvement project. Get cash in your pocket fast. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's AI-driven tech gets you approved and funded in as little as 1 day. One client got $150,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off all their credit cards, 2 cars, and personal loans, saving over $1,500 per month. With low fixed rates and lightning fast transfers, you can do it too. Consolidate debt, improve your home, take control of your finances. Imagine being credit card debt-free by this time next week. You can. Don't wait. Call Loan Pronto now, 904-999-1508, or visit loanpronto.com. Get your free quote now with no hard credit pull at 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 13th, 1962, Philadelphia center Wilt Chamberlain scored 73 points, marking the most points scored in an NBA regulation game by a player at the time.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one. EasyCater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants. Plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at EasyCater.com.
The big game is almost here, and Sonny's Barbecue wants you to win a barbecue feast. Text Sonny's to the text line brought to you by Lifetime Flooring at 641-1010 for your chance to win. 641-1010.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, with the answers to the questions I'm asked the most. Yes, we are local, and no, I'm not hiring an actor to read these commercials. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
New Year's resolutions. But let's be honest, by February, that gym membership is just a $50 a month guilt trip.
So why not take that cash and finally fix your leaky faucet, unclog that drain, or tune up your AC?
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning has your back. Start the year fresh. No leaks, no clogs, no excuses.
It's a resolution you'll actually keep.
Call Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 today. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Weekend Rewind, brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville, the big boy toy store for big boy toys.
What happened this weekend?
The Texans just picked off Herbert again.
Out of the pocket, Herbert dials it up across his body, and that one's intercepted. Kamari Lassiter with the pick.
Josh and Lamar set us up for a juicy matchup next week.
Big play here. Trying to go up top for it.
He wants to run for it, Jim. He wants to just go get it with his legs. He's trying to find the opening.
It wasn't there, so now he's got to throw it deep to the end zone. And was that caught? Yes! Ty Johnson.
Deep drop. Jackson surveys. Jackson fires. Caught. Touchdown. Rashad Bateman.
Eagles outlast the Packers.
Hurts on second down. Four-man rush. Has a lot of time. Looking. Throw it end zone. Caught for the touchdown. Jahan Dotson.
Jaden Daniels is a monster.
Daniels. Throw it end zone. Touchdown. Washington takes the lead with Terry McLaurin.
Ohio State versus Notre Dame. Am I in hell?
Pressure comes. Sawyer knocked it out and picks it up. Jack Sawyer headed down the sidelines. Ohio State scoop and score and dagger from 82 yards.
I love Chris Fowler. Did not care for that call, though.
No, he is a homer. He's an Ohio State homer. There's no doubt about that. But he's the best. It's not even close.
I love Fowler. It gutted my Hard Rock Bet knows all about it right now. But it just honestly, man, you're right there at the doorstep. You're first and goal.
Yeah.
And you got the 6.5. Is that what you got?
Well, yeah, and I might have gone teaser, and they lost by 14, so I was up to 12.5.
So you're literally right there because Ohio State goes down, kicks the field goal, wins the game. Yeah. But you cover.
Not the. Well, if they had been able to score.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If they scored and tied and Ohio State goes down and kicks the field goal, you still cover.
I got a long list of those, okay? I got a long list of those. Philadelphia, I had 11 with Green Bay. I can just go on and on and on.
At some point, if you're Steve Sarkisian and you ran the ball, you first down goal at the one, and they stuff you. At some particular you got to call a timeout and bring your team over and say, hey, look, you got 3 more tries, the same play.
Yeah.
We're going to run. I mean, listen.
You're going to Penn State him then, aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. If you can't get 1 yard in 4 tries, you don't deserve to win.
It is true. And they got a little cute. And,
yes.
and obviously, it wasn't a clean pass, but it certainly was a very, very good pass rush off the edge. And then Jack Sawyer to be able to do what he was able to do. All right, so think about this, fellas. We have now seen two teams in whatever the span was, a week's time or just a couple days' time. Yeah, a week's time, because you'd have to go back to the Notre Dame-Georgia game, where the other team against the SEC looked as good, physical, and fast. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, Notre Dame, for sure.
If not more.
No
right?
question.
Yeah, no question. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm watching the Notre Dame game, and I'm saying, is Notre Dame faster than Georgia or close to it? I mean, on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. So you had that against Georgia, and I know that they had the backup quarterback, and they had a lot of other injuries. But then you go Texas, which is pretty loaded, and Ohio State had more than them.
That's the dirty secret of this entire football season, by the way.
The what?
That's the dirty secret of this entire football season is Georgia's decline.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not really talking about it because it's, quote-unquote, well, it's Carson Beck, and it's all his fault.
Yeah.
But it's really not, because the receivers they had there were not good. And if you're an elite recruiter like Kirby is, how are you not nailing high school receivers? Like, Nick would just go down South Florida and just grab the best high school receiver down.
It's something. It really is.
How are you not getting receivers if you're him?
And just take a look at Georgia stars that started
the
yesterday.
Offensive line, not good.
Take a look at the guys that started yesterday in NFL uniforms. I'd be recruiting off of that if I'm Kirby. And so, yeah, they had guys that got in trouble.
Two guys that were in jail.
Yeah, that couldn't play, incarcerated, couldn't play.
One was incarcerated. The other was in jail and got out.
Yeah.
And apparently his girlfriend is now recanting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was, I guess, Colby Young, I think, right? The former Miami kid.
Yeah,
right,
Colby
JJ?
Young.
Colby Young, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
He wasn't like a superstar at
He
Miami.
wasn't, but he was a starter. So was Ra Thomas. They were the two starters. And then once those two guys go out, forget it, man.
Yeah,
he's thrown to nothing at that point.
Oh, you had to throw the Miami kid, former Miami kid.
He's a criminal.
I'm just explaining where he came from. That's all, Leon. But anyway, long story short, my point is Georgia's decline has been overshadowed.
Yeah.
It really has. I mean, think about it. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't run the ball against Florida.
Well, it's funny because I think of them, and I'm not explaining it away or anything like that. I'm not saying, okay, well, I already understand the problems of Georgia, because the injury to Beck, I think, was pretty dang big, and then the drops and the guys that were in trouble, that's big. But then go to Texas, and Texas, like Ohio State were down offensive linemen within the last 21 days.
Two.
Yeah, within the last 3 weeks, which is pretty important this time of the year. And Texas, I felt like, came in pretty much full strength, on tilt, looking good.
But to be fair to Texas, they played them straight up for 3 quarters and 13 minutes.
And they made a lot of mistakes in the first 30 minutes of that game and still were only down a score until they finally made something happen.
Right, I texted you guys during the game that they're blowing too many series. Like, they would go 3 an hour or 5 plays and move 20 yards and punt. You can't do that against Ohio State. You got to score.
Yeah. All right, so we got another week to talk about that one.
No, I was going to talk about that poor right tackle at Texas. Just not understanding the magnitude of the moment, man. Fourth down to go, where you can't get you have to put yourself in a position where you say, this guy is not going to make a play.
Right.
I mean, you saw Sawyer all game long just beat this guy around the corner. But this magnitude, this is your last try, the opportunity. And to get he got a pull rip on him. When I saw it, I just closed my eyes. I knew it was going to be pretty.
It's Cameron Williams. It's not good.
It was terrible, bro.
But, I mean, like I said to you, though, at that point, you're like, he's not getting around me.
Exactly.
He might go inside me. Well, he might do a spin and get inside me, but he is not going around me.
You got to turn into the Hulk. That one moment.
No, I think you got to actually play that he's moving out.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just saying you just turn into the Hulk, like, I'm going to destroy whatever's in front of me.
At that particular moment, at that particular moment, you say to yourself, this guy has to run me over.
Right, he's not getting around me.
He's not getting around me.
Yeah.
You got to.
You got to be.
But he got a pull. He got a pull rip on him on that.
Bro, it was like 0.8 seconds and he was by him.
He was by him, terrible.
And as soon as he got by him, I was like, this is not good.
Yeah, it really was. And those are those, you could call them 14-point swings because of just how meaningful it was. And they were not going to kick a field goal. They were going for it. They were trying, and they pulled themselves back in this game. They really did.
Poor Jack Sawyer, man. He almost passed out.
But
passed out.
But think of the 2 big plays, and Sark probably will see him in his sleep every single night. But letting Travion Henderson get off like that after you scored right before the half, How much time was left?
Bro,
Like
it's not
30
only,
seconds?
It's not only that.
on a screen
They
pass?
on a screen pass. Wait, on a screen while they were playing essentially a cover 6.
That's what you should have been doing, and could not.
They had
get to him
4
and get
guys
him on
rushing and 7 guys deep. Yeah. They were literally playing cover 6, and they couldn't find a way to tackle him.
Unreal. So those are the 2 big plays that will haunt Sark for a long, long time. But the SEC, once again, is looking at a national championship game with no representation. This is Greg Sankey's worst nightmare, is that the SEC now will sit back, and they don't have anybody to cheer
Second
SEC
straight
for.
year. And this is the first time the SEC will go 2 straight years without someone in the title game for 20 years.
Yeah, so we're going back to 06, 05.
Maybe like those USC.
Yeah, that would have been
years.
What's your little A-crap conference for the SEC now? Because you might have to come up with one.
I am really wanting to see how they respond to this challenge, because a lot of it was, in some respects, a good conference week in and week out, beating up on each other a little bit, didn't necessarily have the glossy resume, and Ole Miss. You can name the other ones that didn't get in.
Extra overrated conference?
Yeah, well, so that's not bad. We can work with that one. Super extra overrated.
I just think, listen, Saban ain't there anymore. Like, SEC fans don't have, like, Alabama to rely on to be the team that they say is always in it every year.
You brought that up. I've actually heard a couple coaches say this, that Saban's not there, so the standard is not there anymore. So you're not reaching for that anymore. Now it's everybody all going wherever they want, and it's not the one guy that's,
I think,
for lack of a better way of saying it, the one guy who is the gold piece on top
motivating everyone.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's that, but it's also like he gave everybody something to go after.
Very true, very true. But player movement is
of course.
Money
of course.
But I had SEC written down as suck it everyone conference, which is what they were for a long time. Now I got to amend that. I got to come up with something
else. Take the it off it.
Yeah. They suck everyone conference.
Should I dump that?
Flip the E and the S.
But I do agree that Nick was, the guy that you were just trying to climb the mountain to get to his feet and let him bless you and say
it's almost
arrived.
it's almost like they were surfing off his wake.
Yeah. Very much so. But even though we still got,
other than Georgia, obviously Georgia was
the top 4 seeds didn't make it past the first round. They were all knocked out, or when they got to play, they were all knocked out. And so they don't make it to the national championship game. We did see some newcomers, which was great. And the fact that Notre Dame once again is in a championship setting and may be able to knock down that door this time compared to years past, we'll find out. But Ohio State now is in position to once again be the behemoth in the Big Ten, taking that away from Michigan and then just seeing if they can stay there atop. They spent a lot of money to be there, and they do look the part right now. There's no doubt about it. And what is the line right now?
It's 8.5. It started at 9.5. Is Georgia Clemson or LSU where they have a couple years and then it's kind of fallen off?
Well, LSU didn't even climb that high. Clemson did, of course.
Well, I mean, LSU was. That's true. It just got
LSU
hot.
was one
Ed just got
season
hot.
with the greatest coach of all time.
So it's more Clemson than LSU. Then
my intel has Brian Kelly going to church every Sunday, trying to get back to touchdown Jesus. Right now, he's ready to go back. You could make the
comparison between Georgia and Clemson, though. You absolutely could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get a rare quarterback, and let's face it, Stetson Bennett was a rare quarterback. Mm-hmm. He really was.
As a walk-on,
we all made fun of him, but he played his tail off, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they're not the same team without him.
I do love when you start throwing sand on a guy way early. I love it. I'm awesome.
Not throwing him away. All I'm saying is they clearly regressed this year. Mm-hmm. I know they won the SEC. We all know that, okay? All I'm telling you is they clearly regressed this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and the things that we've listed, we have everything to back it up. The drops, the lack of run game, the inability. Well, they actually let teams get up early on them and they had to claw their way back.
Yeah, teams actually ran on it, which you never run on Georgia before.
So that's the full focus that you need to make sure that Kirby.
Still very consistent with the reckless driving, though. Very consistent with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you start adding all that stuff up, it will take its toll, will it not? All right, we got the quarterback whisperer coming up in the 3 o'clock hour, and he might be able to at least lend a little expertise on that subject, whether guys started to tune out on old Curb, because Curb can be quite intense, can he not?
He's hard, no doubt.
And so we'll get into that. But real quick, just as far as the coaching search is concerned, we'll keep an eye on it. They interviewed a lot of guys. Is it done? Are they going to have to make an offer to any one of these guys once they get through the last round of guys here in Jacksonville? How much does it change with Dallas saying goodbye to Mike McCarthy? What does Chicago do now? They had requested permission to see him, and he kind of got hosed by Jerry, did he not?
He did, absolutely. I mean, Jerry pulled rank on him.
It was cold what Jerry did.
It was cold-blooded what he did. He denied the interview with the Chicago Bears, extended the week for the contract,
Right,
and then
it was on the 12th. Right.
On the 12th, and then he let him go. That's just cold-blooded, man.
That's beyond cold. That's
man.
like, that's
unnecessary. I mean, this man.
Well,
no loyalty.
It's so funny that there was a while where Jerry said, I love Mike McCarthy. I could see him being here the rest of his life as an NFL coach. And then something happened because I think McCarthy did want out. Remember what Jerry said last week? There's something to be said. If a guy doesn't want to be here, you don't want him here. Mm-hmm. And I think finally McCarthy's like, just turn me loose.
Well,
man.
after he said that, I mean, he said the guy, because the interviewers were asking him about the Chicago job, and they said, well, if the guy doesn't want to be here.
Right.
And then the very next day, he denies him the opportunity to go to Chicago, and then he lets him go a week later.
You know what that is? That's a little twist in the knife right there.
I see.
That's exactly what that is. All right, let's head into the 3 o'clock hour. Say hello to Denny Thompson. Talk a little more about that championship game, the setup between Notre Dame and Ohio State. Is that a dream come true national championship for you, Leon?
No, it is not.
It is
not. College
Okay.
football hell.
All right, so we'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit as well. Mocama Beer Company Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Big Search, the Hurricane Hall of Famer, Matty Hayes. You can check out his stuff at USA Today Sports. Joe C, JJ, and we got Denny rolling in.
Look who's here. Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
You're crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm just thirsty.
Mornings from 6 to 10.
Who are we?
The Drill.
What?
The Drill.
That's ridiculous.
On 1010XL.
That's a terrible name.
92.5 FM. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Dan and Jeff are going to be live from the brand new showroom at Tyson Sound and Security this Friday. You have to check out Tyson's showroom home theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. Did I mention Friday morning you can enter to win a $2,500 prize giveaway? Bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, now at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. New year, new you. How many times have you heard that? We've all set goals when the new year begins, and more times than not, it revolves around the way you look. So if you're ready to get serious about being the best you, it's time to get serious about a Waco 180 weight loss. It's time to get serious about losing weight the right way and getting into the best shape of your life safely. No guesswork, no trial and error, no medication side effects. I'm proof. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on a Waco 180. Hacker lost 115. And you can lose the weight too. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is, a Waco 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Reach your goals with a Waco 180 weight loss and become a new you. Trust me, it was simple, a word you never hear used with weight loss programs unless you're referring to a Waco 180. Choose the simple, clear path to success with a solution for weight loss. A Waco 180 weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
Find Florida Gators basketball on 1010XL. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Florida Gators. And by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mia here for MyBookie. It's win or go home. The NFL playoffs are the ticket to the biggest game of the year, and all roads lead to New Orleans. The NCAA playoffs will set the stage, but this is your chance to get in on every high-stakes moment along the way. Your road to New Orleans starts now with MyBookie. MyBookie is the ultimate destination for bettors who want more. Whether you're betting the underdogs or riding with the favorites, every drive, every touchdown, every moment is an opportunity to win big. Kick off your 2025 right with risk-free Thursdays. Place a bet, and if it doesn't hit, MyBookie has your back. Dive into the Bet Boost tab to supercharge your picks and build that bankroll before the big game. And when the games are over, the action does not stop, folks. MyBookie's online casino keeps the excitement going 24/7. Blackjack, roulette, slots, it's all there. Whether you're celebrating a big win or gearing up for the next round. Haven't joined yet? Now's the time. Use promo code 1010XL on your first deposit, and MyBookie will hook you up with an instant bonus because you deserve to start the year off right.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Anastasia Rogers, senior basketball player at Paxton High. Anastasia is also a member of the track and field team and was listed in the African American Recognition Program. Congratulations, Anastasia.
Jacksonville, when AEW returns home, it is the biggest party in all of professional wrestling.
Daly's Place, the home of AEW.
And on Saturday, January 25th, Collision returns live. It's a new year and a whole new era in AEW. And there's no better time to experience the excitement than right now. AEW Collision Homecoming, live from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Tickets on sale now, starting at $20 at AEWTIX.com.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but also incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744. Hey, and if you mention Mia or Helmets and Heels, you'll qualify for free base molding. Call today or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Chuck and Sandy Real Estate. The Orlando Magic got the job done at home Sunday night against the Philadelphia 76ers, 104-99. The Magic had 4 scorers in double figures, headlined by point guard Cole Anthony with 27 and power forward Jonathan Isaac with 20 points and 11 boards off the bench. Head coach Jamal Mosley spoke proudly of his group's performance after pulling out another big-time win in a close dogfight of a game.
Whatever it takes to help this team find a way to success, whatever it means to help this team find a way to get a win. If it's offensive rebounding at the right time, if it's knocking free throws down at the right time, if it's taking the big shot, making the big shot, getting a big stop when it counts. I was just so proud of that last possession. We switched everything up. They got a 5-second call. They had no timeouts left. That is the fight and the determination of this group to find a way to win.
It's 51 degrees at 3 p.m. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
Our dude, Denny Thompson, in the house and ready to talk some, quarterbacking, but really team. And we have to say it right off the jump. Dude walks in. He ain't wearing no more red and black. He's wearing some orange and green.
That's right, baby.
You got the U on the sweats.
The U in the house.
Looks good on me, too.
I think I shed a tear.
So you're kind of like the players, and you're very transactional.
No, I only care about the players. I don't. Listen. I don't. I enjoy college football, but my fandom is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I only care about the guys we work with. Want to make sure they're good, and he's happy right now, so I'm happy right now.
I don't think you can help it. You have to operate like that.
Yeah. I'm still like a Gator fan.
Yeah.
Right. I still am a Florida fan, but I'll get back to that when the time is appropriate. Right now.
Yeah, you were accused of being a Gator infiltrator in
so
in
new
the land
intro
of Athens.
song.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
No, good weekend there, man. We had a good weekend.
All right, so let's at least start off. Denny, quarterback whisperer, trains Carson Beck, among many others. If you guys are just tuning in, plenty of you already know that. You guys can hit us with a question on the text line, 641-1010. Even the ones that did accuse him of being a Gator infiltrator, they may still accuse him of being that as he goes down there. But to go, if you're Miami, to go from Cam Ward to Carson Beck, in hoping the surgery is 100% success, you haven't dropped off at all. So give us an idea of how this all unfolded. Starting with the idea, Danny, that at first we thought he was turning pro.
A week ago, this wasn't even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't even a thing. He was doing draft prep, every intention of going through the draft, and then it just kind of, I think it was one of those situations where he was just, hey man, we should probably we should just check out if I go back to college, what that looks like, because you started to hear. I mean, we were hearing first round from some people. We were hearing third round, fourth round from some people, and there's just a lot of uncertainty. And of course, with the injury, that's justified, right? Like, I mean, I completely get it. So,
and did not necessarily have the season he was hoping to have.
Right. And so we went from, hey, we should check out going back to college to literally 48 hours later saying, all right, we're going to do this.
That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting too is I was telling somebody this earlier today. When we were in California and he was getting a surgery, there was a rumor going around that he was going to sign with Miami like within 24 hours, right? Literally never talked to him. So everybody's like, well, I knew this then. No. This literally all came about last week. And it's one of those situations that whenever, he kind of talked about it and thought about it, he got excited about and was like, yeah, I think I want to go do this.
Mm-hmm. And so when you think of it, there's a lot of other things that are down there, and they were able to get a quarterback, Searcy, and plug him in and have success.
Happy. We're very happy.
We did
because I was afraid that they were the rumors, because the rumor mill was hitting Miami on all the social networks.
Mm-hmm.
Carson's coming here. I said, don't play with me because I'm emotional when it comes to school. But that's and then when we heard that he hit the portal
and with a no contact in the portal, I was like, oh, it's got it.
I don't even know. That whole thing was just interesting. I didn't even
the no contact part.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
Well, yeah, I also think you log in and put your name in there, you can click hey, schools, don't hit me.
But you don't put your name in there. They put your name.
They put Who is they?
So maybe they.
Yeah, I don't know. School? I mean, no, I don't know if it's something I don't know. I have no idea. I saw that same thing and I didn't even really know.
You tell them and they put it in.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe he told him. I have no idea.
Well, the first thought was that is he going there to play defense? That was the first thought. Okay, because they didn't have any last year, and if they're going to fix anything, they need to fix.
We had
that
enough defense to beat Florida.
They've gotten like 4 guys in the secondary out of the portal.
But I mean,
they're trying their best.
I also think it was obvious. That's probably what it was. There's really only so many places he's not going to go to the NFL for. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not just going to randomly go to Southern Miss.
Sure. Yeah.
There's only so many places he's going to go. I would think, an elite, LSU has a quarterback. You can go down the list. Clemson's got a quarterback.
Right.
Oh, okay. Georgia needs a quarterback. Maybe Georgia's one. Alabama needs a quarterback since Milroe's gone. You can go down the list.
Is that a fair conversation that you would have
sure.
Around
Ohio State needs a quarterback. So, there's only so many spots.
Describe that.
No,
absolutely. From the state of Florida,
right.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, because the obvious question is, why not go back to Georgia?
Mm-hmm.
That's the obvious question.
Answer that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not for me to answer. I don't know. I think I said this with Dan and Jeff the other day. I think sometimes you go through and you do something for the last time thinking it's the last time. And then when it's not the last time, it's like,
can't do it again.
Yeah, I can't go do this.
It's the double goodbye. Just say it. It's the double goodbye.
Right. That well, there's that, and man, I mean, listen, he was. Let's put it this way, he was there 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
He waited his turn, then he came back. He got his degree, He did everything that he went to Athens to do. Super loyal. And then I think when this time came around and this opportunity presented, I think the change of scenery was probably something that was just, fairly welcome.
What's the vitriol? What's the?
I don't know.
I don't understand. He's loyal to the school. He doesn't transfer. He stays there 3 years before he starts his first year. And now the Georgia fans are just killing him on social media.
I had Georgia fans run up to me. It's like, oh, you can have him. I was like, really? Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
He was 29-3 as a starter.
I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I've been asking that question for 2 years. I don't know. I don't get it, but I think some of it too, from a Georgia perspective, fan perspective, and this is real. Like we saw this with Tebow and Chris Leak a little bit. Is Carson went in there? He's not a Georgia guy, and then all of a sudden they got Brock Vandegrift, who is from Athens, and they've got Gunnar Stockton, who is right down the road, another Georgia guy. So I think naturally some of that's following Stetson Bennett, who's a Georgia guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I think some of that is just naturally like those guys are around Athens. They want to see them succeed, and Carson's not from Athens. So I think that's probably a big part of it. But I don't know. Because in my mind, he kind of did this the right way. All the way through. Even this situation, like going through and diligently looking at your draft prospects and then making the decision of, you know what, this isn't, ideal to what the plan was before the season started, but we probably need to make a U-turn here and go back.
Yeah, he didn't defect as a dog. He remained patient, fulfilled, and helped them.
I mean, more than patient.
Yeah.
Could have left numerous times. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seriously, a 2-year period. And it's like we all joke about other ones that go, and sometimes you say to yourself, well, that means he couldn't win the job. Doesn't necessarily always – it isn't always that. They can go somewhere else and they can thrive. So what about matching him up with Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator? Hit that.
Yeah, no, I think Shannon does a good job down there. I've known Coach Dawson for a while. We've got a good relationship, and he does a good job down there. He's conceptually a good coach. They are as complex as they need to be down there. They do a good job of working around what they've got offensively at the quarterback position, running back position. Their offensive line is fantastic. So I think it's a good fit. And I think there's some things that maybe they can do more of and differently with Carson than what they could do with Cam, both ways, right? There's some things that Cam did well that maybe Carson doesn't, and there's some things that Carson does a little better than Cam. And I think that they do a good job of adapting to that. And for them, it's personnel and conference and all those things. I heard y'all talking about the SEC, if I can real quickly give my 2 cents on that.
Do you think Georgia's regressing?
I don't know, but I think the SEC's got a problem. I think the SEC, and the SEC haters are going to hate when I say this, but it's just true. That season in the SEC is brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
I don't disagree with that.
And by the time you get to the playoffs, you are beat to hell.
Yeah.
And they got to figure that out. And you cannot have like this SEC championship deal. Like props to Texas for going as far as they did after that. Like they can't go to 9 games. That can't happen. You cannot play 9 conference games and then a 10th in an SEC championship and then 4 more playoff games.
Which Sankey kind of wants.
They want because it's money.
The other thing I was going to ask is that
it's not Sankey, it's the presidents. The presidents want that.
Yeah, they got to do it.
Yeah, but Sankey wields.
Let me tell you something else too.
He's the red right hand.
The
for
presidents
Peaky
are also seeing 20% of their media rights revenue going out the door to the players. They're not giving up that game. Zero chance of that happening.
Yeah. And they want to keep that. But then the other part of it is just you from a travel standpoint this year, you can even appreciate the settings more now in the intensity.
It's insane.
In the intensity.
It's insane. By the end of the year, I didn't take not one snap, and I was worn out. It's like the intensity, and maybe it was just Georgia's schedule and the fact they were Georgia. But you look at Florida's schedule, and you look at a couple other schedules, and you're like, man, I mean, this is –
I mean, they got all
the NFL.
They got all they wanted from Kentucky, man.
Yes,
and that's a tough road environment.
That is tough.
Million
tough.
Win or loss.
It is an NFL schedule in the SEC right now, and they're going to have to figure out. I don't know. The playoff thing.
Texas
you got to be fresh. You got to be fresh, and they're not fresh.
If Texas won the national championship, they would have won 5 postseason games. 5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or played in, I should say, not one.
Teams
played in.
with buys were not successful. Which is also kind of
I know, but my point is, had they won it all, they would have played the SEC championship game, first round, quarterfinal, semifinal, final.
Right. Because Georgia was basically on the same clock that they would have been if there weren't a 12-team playoff. If it was just 4, they would have gone from first Saturday in December to basically New Year's Eve. They were right there basically on the same clock.
Yeah. No, I just think I think that schedule and just that grind of 8 SEC games, and if you get the wrong 8 games,
that's true. And it's
That's
the
tough.
most anyone will have ever played to win a natty. And so the bodies.
Well, I mean, to be
they're wearing
fair,
down.
the only 2 teams that really got the wrong schedule were Florida and Georgia. The others kind of got enough heavyweights.
Texas got the big.
Texas got the easiest.
Yeah, they got the big kids.
But Florida and Georgia basically had the 2 toughest schedules in the league. Other than those 2, it was
Ole
kind
Miss,
of like
Ole Miss had a little bit
Ole Miss was
of
a
it.
little difficult. Yeah.
But I think you start projecting ahead at what Elko's doing at Texas A&M, and I mean LSU can beat anybody on any given day.
You had to whip out that
Tennessee
ACC schedule.
coming
Show
back.
Carson, get him fired up.
You know
a
what?
little bit.
I'm not buying in on Texas 8-5. I'm just not.
What do you mean?
It's just who they are, man. They are Texas 8-5. It's who they are, and the Aggies. That's what they are.
Oh, I do like the nickname, but it throws you off because
Yeah, it does.
wait
I was
a
like,
minute.
what?
That's
What's
I'm
the
telling you.
Horns?
It doesn't matter who
I like
coach
that.
is there, man. That's who they are. They're 8-5.
They're still but again, they're a tough out.
Yes, no, I'm not
so
saying
if
they're
they're
not.
8-5, that puts them as the 7th or 8th best
Right.
team in the SEC. Are you
Right.
kidding
It's
me?
difficult. Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's tough. You're not going to go into Texas A&M. I don't care who you are and feel comfortable about that game.
All right, so diehard SECer on the text line. He should remain nameless right now. He's a Bama fan. I think it's time to have a conversation about the Big Ten. They were given 4 playoff spots, including the top seed. 2 of them one and done. Another was gifted the ACC runner-up and a participation conference champion before getting bounced by an independent. It's a 1-team conference. So this will be the fight.
They had to play each other last round.
Well, but here's the other thing, too. is
And
rosters.
Michigan won the Natty last year.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they got it in their hands.
Well, rosters, though, too, you don't have any depth anymore because of the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
So if all of a sudden you're down to your 7th offensive lineman, which happens often, right?
Right.
You lose 2 offensive linemen almost every year. That 7th guy at Georgia and Alabama used to be really, really good, but now that 7th guy is making $1 million at Florida and Texas A&M and all that.
Stockpile.
Yeah, well, you can't.
Yeah, you
You
can't
can stockpile your starters, but after that, I don't know, man. It's just tough. It's a new age of college football, which we all know. And it's just got to be played a little bit differently, I think.
Yeah. All right, so you guys jump in, 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We can stay on that subject a little bit more, but let's get to the mobile quarterback, hiring a head coach here, all those things. This time a week ago, Denny was talking about a dark day in Duval and all of that. And so let's just here we are 7 days later. What has happened? What has changed? What might take place? We'll do all that coming up on XL Primetime and Mokama Beer Company Monday.
He'll tell you about tonight's games and hot topics.
It's him.
Hacker After Dark.
I'm always punctual.
Live and local, even late night.
You're exactly the kind of hero the world needs.
Right after Rick Ballou. Evenings on 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Garber Auto Mall is home of the lifetime warranty. Every new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevy, Buick, GMC, and Ford comes with a lifetime warranty. At Garber Auto Mall, your purchase is covered for life. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. The playoffs are here, and it's a perfect time to play and win with PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Think Will Howard will throw for more than 2 touchdown passes in the national championship game? It's just that simple. And now you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. Hey, PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. That's right. You can double your money, even if one of your picks doesn't hit, and cash out as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. PrizePicks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play, even if one of your players gets injured. Download the PrizePicks app today and use promo code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at PrizePicks. Run your game.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Coke, Florida congratulates the Jacksonville Jaguars on a great 2024 season. As the local Coca-Cola bottler celebrating 10 years of business, Coke, Florida is proud to be the Jags' official beverage partner. From the season kickoff to the final touchdown, Coke, Florida's 5,000 associates and passionate fans have cheered on the Jags all season long. Coke, Florida and the Jags tackle game day with great taste.
New year, new beginnings, and a new roof. Start 2025 with peace of mind and take advantage of Universal Roof and Contracting's limited time offer. 15% off all roof repairs and replacements. From leaks to full replacements, call 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection today. This special New Year deal ends January 31st. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home and building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Start your week by talking teal with Tony. Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli. Monday mornings at 7:20 with Dan and Jeff on the drill. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida. Hall of Fame Quality Roofing Solutions on 1010XL.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for 10, the pork and rib combo for 12, and all-you-can-eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
"20 minutes after the 3 o'clock hour, I've got my headphones, my earbuds that just fell into my oatmeal and yogurt and blueberries. But I'm going to put it back in my ear like it's nothing.
It's good.
Like it's
good
nothing.
lubrication, that
A
oatmeal,
little
man.
crust will come out of my ear later, and I'll wonder what the heck it is. But one show, Denny Thompson is with us for another seg. One show a long time ago, I had a chia seed in my my beard for like the whole show. Hacker never said a word. Never said a word. Never ever said.
Of course he did. What? I mean,
do you think he even noticed?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Hey, man.
Trying to be professional.
100% he noticed. He wasn't going to tell you.
He had to do it. He had to do it. All right. Speaking of noticing, I couldn't help but notice this over the weekend. Two very obvious things, and we're talking about the Jaguars coaching search, and obviously one of the main things. I think we've all said this. And Denny, you were here a week ago when Doug was dispatched. That very simple. You've got to do everything you possibly can to put Trevor in the best position to succeed. He's your Leon. What do you call him? He's your
I-275.
Yeah, he's your I-275. You paid him that much money to one cat, and so you got to fix him. But over the weekend, Denny, run game, Derrick Henry averaged about 10 yards per carry. All three AFC teams that won dominated on the ground, averaged 5 yards roughly per carry. Joe Mixon did his thing. Obviously, when you're looking at what Derrick Henry does, and then just take a look at the other AFC winners, even James Cook he rumbled for 100 yards and nice 5 yard, 4.9 yards per carry, something like that. Anyway, you need play action and run game for Trevor Lawrence to have a chance.
I mean, that's playoff football.
Yeah.
Right. Playoff football is run the ball, play good defense, don't miss tackles, block the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like that. It's execution of any sport. It's the highest level of execution that exists in all sports. I think is playoff football. And you look at Baltimore and the way that where I'm going with this is you've got to get your identity the way all those teams you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore has an identity that we can put personnel out that stresses you and you don't have an answer for. Like, just because we're different than every other team in the NFL, when we throw Lamar out there and Andrews out there and Henry out there, like, how do you stop that? How do you personnel that? And you've got to find that identity. All these teams, like Kansas City presents so many personnel issues.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo presents a lot of personnel issues, mainly because of Josh Allen. You have to find what your thing is in Jacksonville, and you have to build around that. And you can't do that until you have a coach that has a system and an idea and a general manager who knows how to put together that roster that matches the identity of what that coach is good at doing and what your skill set of your players are good at doing. And until you do that, like it's a moot point.
Is that general manager in Duval County right now?
I don't know.
I mean,
no.
I don't know. Somebody visiting?
Initially, until Saturday, I thought that a quarterback's best friend is a run game, an offensive line. I was looking at Jim Harbaugh when he came in from Michigan and came to the Chargers. Talking about a 4-2 team that went to like 11-6 until they got dismantled this Saturday. But I mean, as much as we want to build weapons around Trevor, I think his best friend will be a run game, and you solidify the offensive line.
No question. Like, I mean, if all of a sudden you go and you find that offensive line that you can run the ball, and you've got Tank, and I don't know what they're going to do with ETN, but that is the single best way that you can help 16. With that's the best way you can help your defense. That's the best way you can help anything. But I think that goes back to like just that whole identity thing we've said for the last 3 years at this radio station, time and time again. What's their identity offensively?
Yeah, we thought it was emerging when the end of 22 took place, but as it turns out, at least more and more people are saying this, and I'm not going to say that I knew it or anything like that, but it was totally devoted to the passing game as opposed to.
You said it all along.
Yeah.
No, you said it all along. You always talked about, because at one point I thought, okay, they're just trying to do what the Rams did back in the day. They're just going to go, we're really good outside. We're going to get rid of the ball quickly. And I think that's what they tried to do, and they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, they were just horribly unsuccessful. And so, and Matt and I, we were having fun earlier about, obviously what Matt is wishing for 100%. He can make his own argument as far as interior offensive linemen. But I also want to get Trevor on the move. And Jaden Daniels didn't run for about 36 yards yesterday, but the threat of running and what he's able to do, C.J. Stroud started to take off and run in the game over the L.A. Chargers because they were playing a lot of man. He's like, I'm going to move. I'm going to take off. I'm going to make them pay. Those types of threats it's just that extra added dimension.
Real quick, my point was, let's figure out protection first.
Totally get that.
His most important, the best thing he does is throw the ball. Figure out protection. Get a couple guards, figure it out, let him throw the ball, then he can add the legs to it.
Well, I also think that's kind of part of the identity thing, because there's one thing to say we're going to scheme up our quarterback movement. We're going to move the pocket. Mm-hmm. We're going to do some boots and things like that. And then there's another thing to say we're not going to scheme it up, but we're going to let him freestyle and it'll be more of a 1, 2, 3 read go, right? If you're moving the quarterback, and Leon, you please correct me if I'm wrong on this. If you're moving the quarterback, that's a little bit different type of blocking scheme up front, right?
Yeah, I mean, Burnell was. I wouldn't say he was a running quarterback, but he had escapability.
But y'all didn't move the pocket that much.
No, we didn't. No.
Yeah, and I think that's one. Like when you look at what they do with Lamar, they can do that because that defense has to be compacted because of how well they run the ball.
Sure.
And it lets him get the edge pretty easily and pretty consistently.
And he ran more Saturday night than he had since the KC game, the opener against KC. And so he has done it when he feels like he needs to or when he wants to really stress a defense, which is what he was doing with Pittsburgh because he had struggled against them in their game up in Pittsburgh. But here's the other part. They already ran the ball unbelievably well, and they said, we need one more piece. And they go and get King Henry.
No question.
And so you know who you are, and you weren't good enough because you went away from it. Todd Monken completely abandoned the run game in that match the game against Kansas City when they had a chance hosting the AFC Championship game. And this year they said, you know what, we're going to get better at doing what
traditionally, here's what my thought, I agree with you. He needs to run a little bit more, but traditionally what you want to have happen is you want to run the ball so well that they got to put that box guy in there and they got to play man.
That's it.
And then when they do that, you want to go deep and you want all those guys to turn and run and you want your quarterback to be able to go, oh, I see the back, so I'm going to go take 20 yards away.
Exactly. That's the part I want.
That's the simplest form of offense, and it's something that everybody should be able to do in the NFL, but you can't do that unless you can, A, run, and B, block it up to where you have time to go deep.
Right. The problem is
we haven't had that.
He was going against defenses that could get home with 4 in the pass rush.
That's right.
That could stop the run. Right. That could stop the run with the 4.
Yep.
So they're dropping 7 all the time, and then you're asking him to basically do the impossible every time he drops back to throw the ball.
You start getting into the situation where they can get home with 4 and you can't protect for that. I mean, you start to get double robber coverages. You start to get a spy coverage on Trevor, which is wild, but they can do it. They got an extra guy. You got to find a way to win that numbers battle, even though you're automatically down 1.
Yeah.
Offensively. You just got, and again, that's that identity piece. Like, are you a zone team? Are you a gap team? What's your true identity? Are you built to do anything? That's the problem.
No.
Right.
Right. Well, I mean, to Denny's point, like you start dropping 6 and 7 back there, nothing underneath is open.
Yeah.
All those crossers, done. Forget it.
Right.
So you basically got to hit perfect bucket throws, right? Is what you.
Well, you combine that with the fact that they're still getting pressure.
Right.
And you can't
it's
win
quick.
that.
It's got to be like, 2.1 seconds. You got to get it off.
You got to have some time if they're dropping 7 for somebody to find some grass.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you are going to short pass them, the ball needs to come out quickly in their hands, slants, whatever it might be, to where they can make something
But
happen.
you can't do that if they drop 7 because they're layered.
Right.
They're layered.
Very true.
So you come over to my side now, officially, correct?
Right there. Yeah.
You've officially come over to my side now.
Yeah. Oh,
Guards.
No. You don't just have that one side. We were all on that side too, okay? Don't think for a moment you're the only one wanting some of that block and protect up front. But listen to this number. This is a saucy. It blows my mind. Jaden Daniels has come in and done extraordinary things, and he's making them look ordinary right now. Give him Cliff Kingsbury, who got his second chance and is looking pretty good right now as a play caller, and Dan Quinn, who got his second chance and is looking pretty good because they won their first playoff game I think since 2006, I have to go back and look, something like 7,000 days.
Saucy Nugs.
They won their first playoff game. So listen to this number here. Jaden Daniels has more games in his career where his team has had 0 punts and 0 turnovers, including the playoffs, than the combined careers of Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, and Pat Mahomes.
That's wild.
Saucy Nugs.
In their first year.
No, combined careers.
Career.
Is that true?
Jaden Daniels has more games in his career where his team has 0 punts and 0 turnovers, which is a total of 3 this year, than the combined careers of Brady, Montana, Manning, and Mahomes.
That's crazy.
They've all had 2
crazy.
in their career.
First off, who comes up with that stat?
By the way,
this guy's from CBS Sports.
Who comes up with that
stat? You were talking about the coaches?
Yeah.
Anybody know the quarterback coach at Washington? You know who that is?
Who?
Brian Johnson.
Really?
Oh, okay. Went from Philly.
Heck of a job.
Yeah.
So Gainesville, Philly, Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yep.
I like that because the quarterback's coach up in Detroit is Mark Brunell. And we'd love to bring him with Ben back here, which would be awesome. So there's no mistaking what a guy like that, just spend a second on that, because a guy like that can clear Jaden Daniels' head. He's a rook. He's got a lot of things flying at him between him and Cliff Kingsbury. He said, okay, just think about it this way, basically, is how they're doing.
I love the way Brian coaches. He's a very relationship conversationalist type of coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been a big fan of his since he was at Florida. I just think he does an excellent job of getting guys ready, because he almost makes everything their idea. He guides them to the right answer a lot of times, but they got to learn it. It's not just him talking to them, and I think he does a great job at developing.
You guys, I mean, honestly, we all love Jaden Daniels coming into the league, Leon, but did any of us see anything like what this cat's doing?
The Bears didn't.
Yeah, because they decided to pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, I have the date of their last, before you answer, Leon.
Yeah.
January 7th, 2006 was when the Redskins at the time beat the Bucks. The number one song in America was Grills by Nelly. A classic.
Great song, by the way.
2006?
7.
Wow.
Or 6, yeah. January 7th, 2006. I was 16.
I think we all thought he would be a really good quarterback if he could stay healthy. That was the thing.
He still has to do it more than 1 year.
Of
That's
course.
that's the challenge.
His talent is off.
You
off
have
the
to
charts,
expect
So
him to come
good.
back to the
Sure.
field next year,
Sure.
because people are going to have an offseason. You have to
Like
expect
Stroud.
CJ did.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not going to, you shouldn't be alarmed when that happens, because now he'll get to counter his answer to that. And that's why I believe year 6 or 7 is where these guys really can be graded, because now you've seen everything. And now it's like, can you handle everything they're throwing at you? But he is a special skill set.
I think he's better than Stroud. And you know him, I love Stroud. I think he's better than Stroud. I do.
Well, he looks really good, and it does come down to, can you keep doing what
so
you're doing?
accurate, man.
Yeah. How many hits are you going to take?
I
Are you
hate
gonna
how they
do
run
it?
him so much.
Yeah,
like when he on the sideline last night,
that was a hard
he
one.
got destroyed.
Yeah,
it's like, is it worth it for these 2-yard runs?
How many times are you going to do that? Willing to
He's
do
got
that?
to learn how to get down, too,
Yeah,
man.
and heck, Baker, this late in his career, he's still inviting contact and conflict, which is cool to watch. But I always joked, Eddie, like, you can go out there and be the best at what you do. There's somebody over there named Wuhan on the other side trying to figure out how to kill you, how to destroy what you're doing.
Did you say Wuhan?
I said Wuhan. How to destroy what you're doing, and that's what
good,
what they do to quarterbacks. Honestly,
Well, it's funny too, the get down thing. We were talking about this in the facility the other day. Yes, if you're Jaden Daniels, you need to get down. What does he weigh? I mean,
it says 210. There's no way he weighs
not even
210.
close.
but if you're like,
he's
if
6'3",
you're,
though.
we're having this conversation. If you're
190,
if you're Baker or you're Anthony Richardson,
right? 240.
You could at least absorb a little.
well, but
Bake's
don't
thick.
get down. Like,
AR's thick.
my point is, bring it. You're less likely to get hurt than slowing down and trying to slide. Like,
Right.
if you get in that situation, either step out of bounds or actually bring it. Because a lot of times, like, these guys aren't baseball players. They got to slow down a little bit to slide, and then all of a sudden you're becoming passive while that guy's still trying to knock your head
Right,
off.
Exactly.
That's where a lot of the injuries come in.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
Trevor's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor's, Anthony's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you guys saw it, but Jerry got a nice little shot off on Lad McConkey as he was coming up to
Did he?
tackle him. Yeah, fist to the head.
Did he apologize for that one?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Denny Thompson, we apologize. We ran out of time.
Ah, sorry.
All right, you're the man. We appreciate it. At Denny_Thompson. It is XL Primetime. We keep it rolling until 4. Then the Frangie Show comes in.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. Woolsey Morecambe is your MVP in the legal game. Our team of skilled attorneys tackle personal injury cases with compassion and expertise. With fumbles like a car or truck accident, we're here to seek the compensation you deserve. Right here in Jacksonville, we've successfully won over $100 million and earned a championship-worthy record. When it's game time, you want a team that plays to win. Contact Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hacker here with a question. Was your goal to lose weight this year? If so, are you already down 31 pounds? Now that's a serious question because I dropped 31 pounds my first 3 weeks alone with Awaken 180 weight loss. Now I had more to lose than most, but Dempsey, Matt Hayes both dropped 18 in their first 3 weeks. That's how fast the weight can fall off when you choose the solution for weight loss. Where am I now? I'm down over 115 pounds. My goal was to lose 100, but my new goal goal is to be under 200 pounds for the first time since I was in college. The results are real, and the results are fast with Awaken 180. Whether you're not seeing these types of results with your new weight loss program, or if you've already given up, don't. Do what we all did and make the call to Awaken 180. 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Pick it here for Bout 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bout 9. Visit Bout 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bout 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Start your new year off healthy and get screened at Ackerman Cancer Center with on-site imaging, including whole-body MRI, PET and CT scans, and mammography. Early detection is key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Florida's weather is unpredictable. Don't let the Epic Chill catch you off guard. For reliable heating services, call Epic Cool Heating and Air. Keep your home cozy all season long. Call 904-859-EPIC, 904-859-3742.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 13th, 1962, Philadelphia center Wilt Chamberlain scored 73 points, marking the most points scored in an NBA regulation game by a player at the time.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the chairman of Underwoods. With Christmas behind us in 2025 here, the last thing you want to hear is somebody trying to sell you something. That's why at Underwoods, we'd like to just stop and say thank you to all the people that came in our stores over the last year. Whether you bought from us or not, we want to thank you for coming by and giving us the chance to help. You know, in North Florida, there are a lot of people trying to sell you jewelry. But at Underwoods, we consider it an honor for somebody to come in and just give us that chance to help. And if we do a good job, we might get a chance to serve again. Having served North Florida since 1928, all of us here understand what a customer really gives us during that visit to Underwoods, their trust. And it's up to us to do everything we can to keep it. So on behalf of everybody on the Underwood team, thanks again for coming into our stores. And we wish each of you a Happy New Year.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hey, Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Guess what? We love rugs. We'll treat your fine Oriental rugs with tender, loving care they deserve. How about Gerard, the Zero Res rug cleaning manager, one of the few certified master rug cleaners in the state of Florida? If you want your rugs cleaned with tender, loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, have one rug washed, and we'll wash the second rug free. That's right, buy one, the second one on me. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Kick off the new year with a new look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% on their energy-efficient windows and patio doors, designed to keep your home comfortable all year. Plus zero down, no payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Hicken here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, well, my takeaway is that a week from today is my college football hell. Two of the teams that are in my hierarchy of hate that say that 1 and 2 will be playing for a national championship. You won't have to sing the song, really. Just going to add. Thank you. Y'all not friends. I'm fine for new friends, bro. Thank you. Well, anywho, I have to root for JJ. I have to root for the lesser of two evils,
which is Ohio State.
I got to root for Ohio State.
Same.
Because I don't.
You are not rooting for Ohio State.
I am rooting for Ohio State because Notre Dame, they're miserable. They haven't won the championships in '88.
I mean, I'll talk to you the rest of the week then.
But I do think your main mission is to root for someone to lose. Don't root for anybody to win.
So we're rooting for Notre Dame to lose.
Yeah.
Right, so just root for Notre Dame to lose. You're not rooting for Ohio State to win.
Root for Notre Dame to lose. Yeah. There you go, that part. Y'all really sang the song, didn't you?
We did.
Yeah, the only reason I know it is because
grads sang a Notre Dame.
Well, the only reason I sang it
so sad
is because it was.
I might sing it again.
It was St. Joe. We just stole it as a little Catholic school. And
that was your fight song?
Yeah, but ours was cheer, cheer for old St. Joe High. Bring on the whiskey, bring on the rye. All those loyal freshmen. And we made up a.
Here it is, Leon, right here.
That was when the drinking age was 18, so we could do it.
Turn it up, JJ.
I recall.
So can you see Cleveland Gary going over the goal line and fumbling?
Yeah, the refs. Yeah, I can see the refs cheating us out the game.
No instant replay.
Nothing.
Ties were allowed. All kinds of stuff back then.
I'm sure Coach Campbell is listening to you. Hear him, Coach? They playing the music.
My takeaway is this is going to drag on, this coaching search. Yeah. It's going to drag and drag.
You think it's going to have a Balky-esque
and I think
timeline
it's going to end up with like Spagnuolo. I really do. It's not going to be anybody fresh and young and hip, and it's going to be like Spagnuolo.
Okay.
And he may not be. He may be a great coach.
Right.
I'm just saying it's not going to end up like if you guys out there think that Trent Baalke's going to hire a young, hip head coach, you're out of your mind. Seriously.
Well, the one thing I was going to say about Spags is that it's not the worst hire you could have, and there may be other youngsters that will fall flat on their face. Now, when he was up in New York, he did fall flat on his face, but that was just a bad situation all the way around up in New York. A proud football franchise, but it just was not good for him. Think of what he has done to help Andy Reid and also learn on the opposite side of the ball where Andy Reid coaches to make sure that everything was sound, secure, you could count on it.
I don't disagree, but at the end of the day, guess what? He's got 15.
Okay, but just think about it. Okay, but just imagine this just for 1 second. Attention to detail on one side of the ball where every single time you run your defense out there, you got a chance to give the ball back to your offense in 3 plays and have guys that know their job and can do it well.
I think he's a very good coach. I'm not. Yeah. So I want to make that very clear. Yeah. If it ends up with him, and by the way, it's where it's headed. Like after he interviewed, like when he left, Trent probably looked at Ethan because they're making the decision.
Oh, of course.
He's top of the list right there.
Yeah.
And so I'm telling you right now, McCarthy was available.
Right.
We got to start over.
There's no way. Think about this. That old school, we got to get bigger. Trent Baalke is hiring young, hip coach to come in here and throw the ball around and
I tend
be
to
another finesse guy.
I tend to agree with you.
No chance that happens.
But he did give a guy that was just coming into the league a chance out in Frisco. So
that was Jimmy Harbaugh, who has the same mentality as him.
I understand. I'm
literally the exact. In fact, he probably got his mentality from Jim Harbaugh.
Maybe
Jim Harbaugh's his line from Stanford, which he ended up moving to Michigan to, was "win with character and cruelty."
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like that? Seriously,
you have to love it. He kind of got hosed this weekend by Houston. He looked a little lost out there, but you do have to give him credit for doing that.
No, I don't actually.
Okay, well, fine.
I actually don't.
I'm not trying to convince you to do anything. But
I actually don't have to give him credit for anything.
Yeah,
actually, I'm giving Harbaugh all the credit there.
Yes, but you still had to be hired. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, maybe John York was the guy who hired him. Maybe John York said, all right, I like this Harbaugh guy. Let's hire him. And then Trent said, I got someone else. And he said, no, well, Trent, I'm the owner, so I'm going to hire him.
I have learned that you want to challenge me on pretty much anything. But anyway, if he were to look and if other eyes were to see what Ben Johnson represents or any of these other guys and look at them closely, Liam Cohen was a popular choice just because the game plan didn't work.
I'm just gun shy of Balky, okay? That's what it is. I'm gun shy that I think he's going to blow this. He's going to blow this.
Yeah, and there's every reason to feel that way because of how things have eroded here. There's no dismissing the damage that has been done. It is not a good situation right now. This franchise, it's like we're sitting there thinking about what could be. If you just fix one side of the football, how much better could this team be? We're talking just one side.
Let me just remind you, that was literally a hostage video that we watched last week.
Mm-hmm.
He literally said everything. Shad Khan literally said everything Balky told him.
Yeah. Yeah. I said it many times. I've said it on X and said it on the air. This looked like the plum of plum jobs because you had an owner that wouldn't meddle, wouldn't lean over, wouldn't helicopter manage you, and he's willing to write checks. He will put faith in you and let you do your job. And that press conference robbed that feeling from a lot of potential guys that would want to come here and go, well, I thought Shad was the guy that would leave me. Well, he doesn't even know what's going on.
Right. This job is now kind of naked right now. Yeah. I mean, you can see all the flaws now, baby.
Yeah.
All of them.
And so I just, you have to hope, and this is just Jaguar fan out there listening, hoping, just let him see the light somehow, some way, based on this interview process, that he does not have the right guy in the building making this decision. But I continue to say he has trusted him. He's the guy who reports back to Shad what's going on in the building. And so he's been brainwashed by Balky quite a bit, I think. I really do.
What'd you call him, the snake?
He is a snake in the grass. And so, like, remember when we were...
Snakes are an important part of the ecosystem, Joe.
we were in... Oh, never mind. I can't tell that story. Never mind. So anyway, it's just I just hope that, because at some point he needs to be able to look up and go, we always use this line, 1 of 32, meaning if you were offered the head coach job, you got to take it. Well, Shad needs to look around and go, they invited me into this club. I'm 1 of 32, but none of them are going to help me. They're not going to make sure that I'm successful. They might enjoy that I'm not successful because they can get a win off of me every single time they see my team roll into town. And so at some point, Shad's got to say, you know what? I don't want to be this anymore. The identity of this franchise has taken a hit. I have got to figure out a way
for 12 years
to rally and rescue this franchise. It's worth billions, but right now, the priceless thing that everybody wants is to be a winner again.
Or just to not lose 17 to 22 games. How about that?
Just win a few. Win a few.
Good money on bad product.
Mm-hmm. I miss Jack Del Rio more and more every day because he was a 500 coach. At the very least, he was going to get you 8. Might lose 8, but he was going to get you 8.
Plus, there's no chance Trent Baalke's going to push around a guy like Jack Del Rio. Zero chance of that happening.
Yeah, I feel like when we look back, Doug Peterson was more soft serve than we realized. And it was the second interview that finally got everyone to come around and basically make this official. And Doug Peterson, our other nickname, he was a healer. He made everybody feel better again.
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember when he actually had the nerve to say these guys need to heal?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes. And we played feelings all the time. Yes, I do.
They're like grown men, Doug.
Yeah.
They get paid millions to play a game.
And so
they need to heal, he said, Joe.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. And they looked okay, and I thought this was a great hire. I really did. I'm pretty sure most people, after seeing that, thought it was a great hire. But now that soft serve has come out again.
Yeah.
There's not an attention to detail.
It's all money.
There's not a push.
We saw it early, though. Training camp. Remember, it was too hot for them to practice, and they went inside.
Yeah, the soft serve's not back out. It's like when you drive to McDonald's and ask for the cone, and they say the machine's broken.
They say the
soft serve's broken
all the time.
All the time.
Apparently, it takes like hours to clean.
Yeah.
That's always been their excuse.
Whatever it is, it's taken hours for this team to, figure it out.
Yeah, I'd like to order it's broken. You don't even get it out, They just don't want to serve it to you. They want to put it on the
It's
menu.
so frustrating, too, because when you pull up, you can see that cone on the board.
can.
You're like, that's a good cone. I think I might have one.
Well, I'll give
low in calories, right?
Yeah, I'll give Chick-fil-A some love since they're one of our loyal sponsors. TLD drives
never out.
TLD drives through there the other night.
Serve it at Chick-fil-A?
Well, they got the Dream Cone.
Oh, they got like milkshakes, man.
Really?
Well, they got the milkshake, but they got the Dream Cone too. So we'll take little M and Lim there, and they'll
Got a
get
reason to go by there.
They immediately order a milkshake, and then they want a Dream Cone at the end too.
Nice.
But anyway, TLD goes through she's just craving an ice cream. She goes through the drive-through. She said, "I just like a Dream Cone." The guy goes, "That's it."
What's a Dream Cone?
It's just a small ice cream.
It's like a cone.
Yeah.
All right.
Follow along. And so it's just
you kept saying Dream Cone. I'm like, I don't know what a Dream Cone is.
Just simple ice cream. Yeah.
All right.
And so anyway, he goes, "Fool around. I'll give it to you. No charge." Now that's nice. That's Chick-fil-A.
Something that'll never happen at the other place.
And then they say it's my pleasure.
Exactly.
Yes.
Instead of saying,
which makes you feel good about giving them money.
Yeah.
When they say it's my pleasure, you feel good about the transaction.
Exactly. Instead of saying
you don't
the
feel
the
good about
machine's
it's not
broken.
working.
All right, this guy is working all the time.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
The embedded and shredded is always working. Never, ever does he quit. Where did you think the hiring process for the Jaguars would be 7 days into it?
Kind of what we've seen, quiet. I mean, they've done what they should be doing to this point in terms of the candidates that they're interviewing. And so I wasn't expecting the Patriots had a very clean search. They have an alum that they knew was available, and they quickly got through the process, hired Mike Vrabel, and it's an A+ hire. The Jaguars, they don't have anything like that. They've got to sort of go through, and the other clubs are the same way. So I still think we're weeks out. Which
is not a bad thing.
No, I mean, I'd like the coach to be hired in time for the Senior Bowl because I think that's just such a key part of the evaluation process, particularly when you've got 2 3s and 2 4s. Those could very easily be Senior Bowl players. So I'd like it to be done in the next 10 days, but it may not be, particularly if it ends up being a coach that is competing for the Super Bowl. That's February 9th. So, but I still think I still don't have great confidence that this will end up being what fans hope. I still think it's probably more likely to have more speed bumps than what we would like. But yeah, we'll see. But I don't think the fact that they haven't done anything yet is any sort of cause for alarm. I think the cause for alarm is like 10 days away.
Yeah, you got to love the Patriots said, Vrabel, just sit back. We're going to satisfy the Rooney Rule. We're going to get Byron Leftwich, who's on a sabbatical for the last couple of years, but we'll interview him, and then boom, we'll let you know.
What is this that I'm holding? A football. Well, thanks so much for coming in. You did it. You knocked it out of the park.
All right, what's coming up?
We are going to unfortunately, Frank is sick, so it'll be me flying solo with JJ on the Frangie Show coming up. But we will talk to Mark Long from the Associated Press, get his thoughts on the Jaguars coaching search, and we'll talk some Florida as well. The basketball team's now top 5 in the country. Still waiting to see what Billy Napier does with some important hires, so we'll get the latest from Mark there. Ryan O'Halloran, our good buddy, will join us at 5 o'clock from the Buffalo News, the columnist there, to kind of give us an early preview of what is clearly going to be the best game of this coming weekend. Ravens going to the Bills. But we'll also get Ryan's thoughts on what he's hearing around the league with the coaching search and things like that. And then D-Rock, our good buddy from ESPN, Michael Duraco, will join us at 5:20, get his thoughts on the coaching search and just really what the Jags should be doing. Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, what he thought about Trevor Lawrence's press conference last week. So a lot of fun stuff coming up on the Frangie Show.
I know O'Halloran will be uber positive.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait.
He always is. And it's his birthday. So you're going to get really, really positive O'Halloran today.
Thank you, Hayes.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, so they are coming up, and they got plenty to get into that you guys will absolutely love.
Coach Campbell texted me and said, fight song disgusting, by the way.
He did not like us singing Notre Dame's fight song. I was singing St. Joe's, old St. Joe High. All right, we're done. We thank Mocama Beer Company. Find them in Fernandina, South 8th Street, the Wildlight location, also ready for you up in Nassau, and then on the shelves at Total and ABC, Mocama Beer Company. Big Sirs, Maddie, Joe C., and JJ, we turn you loose.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt Jacksonville.
Where electrifying moments come